Hello. Um, Thank you for being with us today. My name is Stella Olivia Kikoya, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Stella Woman Magazine. Stella Woman Magazine is aim is to bring you thriving women's stories, knowledge, and experiences so that you too can learn one or two things, be inspired, make changes, and thrive in your life. So we are here to move the light using knowledge because knowledge has potential power to make a difference in people's lives. And we're all about changing one woman's life at a time. And we believe that as we do that, families will be changed, communities will be changed, and the world will be changed. It will become a brighter world. We know that through stories, we find that women get a new perspective in life. They see possibilities for themselves. So here we are today. We are thrilled to be having the amazing stellar woman, Mary Pagano. Mary has so many things that it was actually difficult to set up her questions because I just wanted to scrub as much as I can from the experience that she has. So Mary graduated with a BS in finance, and she has an MBA from Webster University and MIT, and pursued her academic and professional experiences in different parts of the US, like Chicago, New York, and Miami. She has 25 years as a female profit and loss leader in a male-dominated tech industry. She has worked with major companies, the Fortune 30 companies such as Motorola, AT&T, GE, and name it. Mary has a great passion for women, and she's an angel investor in female-founded organizations. And she sits on many boards as well, and also charities. So there's so much for us to learn from these amazing women. So I'm going to have to start with you, Mary, to tell us more, because that was just scrapping and from the experience that you have. So we have to give it back to you. Who is Mary Pagano?
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. And I'm so thrilled about Stellar Magazine and what you're doing because, you know, women learn from other women, and brilliant concept and idea. So thank you for that. Mary Pagano, I'm a little girl from Rolla, Missouri. If you blinked, you might miss the exit. I grew up in a very small town. My father was a college professor at engineering school. He probably taught every CEO in America. I then went on and, you know, got my education and was in tech for like 25 years. I was very blessed to work for Bob Galvin at Motorola. He was ahead of his time. He was very much about diversity back in the 80s and 90s. And I probably wouldn't have become a VP had I not started my career out at Motorola, because he really promoted women. He had all genders, all nationalities, all religions. It was really a great environment. And he was like one of those guys that when he whispered, you wanted to hear every word he said, because he was just that brilliant. So I was very blessed to have had that experience. And then, you know, as you mentioned, went on into tech. Now my focus is very much into female empowerment. Herrera, the Light of Women, I'm on the board for. My girlfriend Marinella started the company out of Portugal. It does everything about female empowerment in all aspects of living, education, sports, health, wellness. But our big project is we're building a city for the future of humanity, a smart green city, I should say, not built with tall buildings that have some Fortune 50 company name on it, but it's very green. And it is for all genders, all religions, all nationalities, and in honor of the woman. So the focus is to be a visit card for the world in respect of women all over the world. And so we feel very deeply that 51% of the global population is women, but yet we're underrepresented at the leadership table all over the world. And I think the world we're living in today, Wasn't designed by women. So
Yeah.
we've got a lot of rescuing and help to do. I think we need some more balance in all aspects of living, and the feminine can add a lot to it because we understand women, children, you know, planet, health, all those kinds of things are near and dear to us. And then I'm also now doing Herrera Media Group, which is going to be the voice for all things Herrera. And there's more to tell about that. But anyway, so I'm just a little small town girl that, was able to survive in a tech industry with being the only woman in the room for a very long time. But
Wow.
I grew up with
Amazing.
3 sisters, and they're all brainiacs, which I'm so grateful that my parents encouraged us to go to college, and that was the first stepping stone for giving me the
Indeed.
skills I needed.
Amazing. Amazing. Well done and great achievements. So I see you've answered actually the 2 first questions that I had there. Thank you. So if we have to say, kindly share a story of how and why you founded Herrera Media Group.
Yeah, so Marinella and I were talking about, as we were building out, she's been the brains of, and her vision is really awesome. I have tremendous respect for her ability for big vision, big thinking, and getting things done. And she does not take no for an answer. So I've actually learned a lot from her. Probably one of the few female leaders that I've really learned a great deal from. And I've had the opportunity to work with a lot. I would say Indra Nui was also in the top of the charts from that. But we were discussing about the communication, and there's going to be so much going on within Herrera City, like because I've got a lot of smart city experience from my work at Motorola and AT&T. And I mean, we were doing, IoT before it had a name. And so in smart cities at GE and stuff like that. So I'm very, very well versed in all the technology solutions that are out there for the city as we move forward. And so part of what I'm doing is I'm interviewing technology companies that have some great solutions for Herrera City, which gives me information for the architect as well, but also interviewing people to get the voices from what they want in the city, what's important to them as we start to develop it, because it's, every city in this planet has been designed by man, but at some point, if you think about a house, a woman can design a kitchen like by the back of her hand, and because they operate and they work in it so much. But now that we're working, we have children, we take care of the family life to some extent, there's got to be a better way for us to live. And I don't think anybody is really thinking about how do we live in a city. So part of that with Herrera Media is to collect that information, interview people, and also it's also about culture and humanity. So there's a lot of great stories out there where people are doing great things for humanity and the planet. I mean, I interviewed these 2 little girls, one from Denver, one from Uganda, ages 17. They met up, and the next thing you know, they're building remote schools for girls in Uganda, primary schools, who can't go to school because they got to get food and water for the family. So, it's telling stories like that. And and also if you can get to a point where you can get everybody on the planet to engage in 10 new healthy habits every day, and they can be small things like smiling when you walk into a grocery store or helping someone with their bags. I mean, really simple stuff.
Yes.
Makes them happy, kindness means happiness. And if you want to be happy, do something kind. So part of that is also educating people on what they can do in their own backyard and all parts of the planet. And because we got a lot of work to do. I think the animals are doing a better job taking care of each other than we are. I didn't say that out loud. I did say that out loud.
That's a hard pill for us to swallow. Wow. We have a lot to do. We have a lot to do, but that's amazing work, that imagination. I was trying to think about both of you and thinking about your imagination and the fact that you're taking it and putting it into action. It's just unbelievable. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. And I will let Marinella know that you said thank you as well. So she'd appreciate that.
Yeah, fantastic. I actually also come from Uganda.
Oh,
So
great.
originally, I'm in the UK, but I'm originally from Uganda. So that was great that you mentioned something that the young girls are doing, the young two
Yeah.
female
Faraway friends. Google them. Brilliant.
visionaries,
Yeah.
faraway friends.
Yeah. That's the name of
Wow.
their charity. And they started at 17. Both of them were 17.
Wow. That's amazing. Faraway friends. I remember that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So what services do you actually offer in Harem Media Group?
I'm sorry, what?
What
What's,
services do you offer?
what Savvy Face? I'm sorry.
Services. What
Oh,
do you actually
services.
offer? Yes.
Oh, services. Well, I don't know if we're so much in the service business. So one of our big projects that we're working on right now that I'm getting funding for is we have a TV series. We have a script and some books and opportunity to make some games in it as well. So I'm in the throes of getting funding for that's a TV series project. As you can imagine, it's in the 100 million range, right?
Wow.
So, and the storyline is basically about, children like Greta Thunberg who, whether autistic or some challenges in life, but are super abilitied, right? Will save the planet and build Harris City. And so our first project is to make that a TV series to align with the building of Harris City, right,
Yeah.
which is a real city,
Yeah.
and then eventually make a game and Marvel movie and things of that
Yeah.
nature. So
Mhm.
we're going to be a little bit of a production, but all in all, we want to be able to give out information about people that are doing great things, solutions for humanity and the planet, and that's for free. We're looking to, we want people to get educated for free. So that's where we are.
Okay, that's amazing. I think I was just trying to figure out, would it be Lego? Would it be, what kind of game would you take it into the metaverse? I was just trying to think about this series.
Absolutely. The gaming will be in the metaverse. There'll be everything that you can imagine, NFTs, all that kind of stuff. It's all going to be there. Right now, I have to get the funding. We're about ready to get the sizzle reel released, and I'm in the throes of talking to some studios. So yeah, that's what we're up to.
That's great work. Great work. Thank you. Amazing. Okay. Tell our subscribers, because you're also into you founded Foundry, is that the case?
Femme Foundry, oh, my favorite. So Femme Foundry is, I'm not the founder, but I'm on the board and I am an investor.
Oh, you are a founding member and a board member.
Yeah, a founding member and a board member and investor. Amy Williams is the CEO, and the company's out of London. My girlfriend, Beverly Knight, I don't know if you know her. She's a famous singer in London. She's brilliant.
I do know her. She performs in London as well. Yeah.
She introduced me to the team. They were looking for somebody from the US in tech and about female empowerment. And I immediately raised my hand. I said, I'm in. Where do you need me? And so Femme Foundry is a mobile app. You can get it on iOS or Android, and it's fem-foundry.com. And it's a mobile app for women. I mean, men want to join, they can, but they'll be disappointed, because it's a place for women to talk about everything that's important to them, from marriage to sex to child raising to work issues. They can promote their companies where women can buy from other companies. Female organizations can join, so they can be a bit more, they have all their information together. Like you can have, files and everything there, so you can, get information out very easily and things of that nature. So, and it's all about, learning, connecting, empowering. You can have sessions, events, all kinds of stuff. So it's a really great mobile app, and they don't sell your data, and bullies get knocked off. So it's a great space, and that's what we want to say, space for women. I don't know if you saw that Dove commercial, but that's what we're trying to solve. So.
Oh, wow. Yes, that's a good one. Fantastic. Thank you. So as a founding and board member of Femme Foundry, how does it make you feel when you see women around the world connecting and uniting? Yeah.
Oh gosh, I love it. I love it. I've always been a connector, and I think I learned that from my mother at a very early age. And I am always blown away when I see two people that I know that I didn't know that they knew each other are like, tight friends. And I'm thinking, how did you get, oh, you introduced us, Mary. I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. Because I'm always surprised by it. But I love it. And I think, really, when you look at it, we're all related.
Yes.
We all are related. And so, we need to like, treat each other well,
Yes.
so, but I'm very excited about it.
That's very, yeah, amazing. It must be a very good app. I just read about it just before the interview and I thought, wow, I would like to be part of that.
I'll send you a link so you can join.
Yes. I also I have a high passion for connecting people, really. I like to see connections happen. Yeah.
You learn so much from everybody. And I best life lesson I ever got was from a 5-year-old, but I can tell you that you just got to listen. And when and every time I meet someone, the first thing I do is I think about who can I connect them to? Who can I connect them to that will help them on whatever it is that they're trying to achieve? And I think, it's networking is really important in your life, not just inside your company, but all over the place. And even in places that, you don't even think you're interested in, because you never know. And it's about being in the creative flow. And for people to create their happiness, it's about doing the things that you love. So.
Amazing. Just a minute. I need to. Okay, let's continue. Thank you for that. So you are so passionate about empowering and uplifting other women. What does this mean to you?
Oh gosh, it's really huge. I think because of all the razor blade cuts I got from working in tech as a woman, being discredited, not, I'd say something in a meeting, nobody heard it. A man would repeat it, 10 minutes later, it was the best idea that they ever heard of. I just had so much of that. It was exhausting. And I was always given, the opportunities that were least likely to succeed, and I made them successful. So I think, and I was really, I think it was like, I can even sense I felt it when I was like in the 3rd grade, trying to play football in the backyard, that I was a girl, I couldn't, do certain things. And I really struggled with the fact that I couldn't do the same thing that guys did. And I think I had that all my life. But then it was after my divorce that I had my real wake-up call, and I thought, man, I just, whatever I can do to impact the lives of women and children around the world, that's what I want to do. And I held that, that was back in 2000, actually. And so then I always mentored women, and I always had 50% of my team were women. That was a must. And I did it with my managers as well. And so, but, I couldn't devote the amount of time that I'm doing now, just because of, I had to cover my cost. And so that was a lot of where my focus was, but all I knew was tech. So it was a comfortable place for me to be after you do it for a while, right? So sometimes making major changes, it can be a big shift. But I can tell you that if you follow your heart, if you follow your passion, if you follow things that really interest you, you can't go wrong, because everything that you've learned in your past will help you in the future. So don't ever think that whatever you do is a waste of time, even if you hate it, because you learn from bad bosses. You learn from everything.
From everything. Yeah, definitely. And bringing technology today, I mean, you are in technology at the point when I don't think how many women would have been in technology. And you see, even still, there's so much energy into bringing women into technology. And so it's really important that you continue doing the work that you do.
Yes. The thing is that I started technology to the point that we did so many custom solutions. Like we built out the FedEx data network, right? Cellular infrastructure. We created things that today are getting consumerized. It's like all those industrial complex systems are now being consumerized. So it's like it's all come to fruition. I remember in the 80s, we saw somebody holding an iPad doing a video conversation with PowerPoint slides. That was back in the 80s.
Wow.
So the vision was already created. And that's why creating vision, strategy, those things are critically important. And it starts with your voice, then you write it down, and then you start taking baby steps. And before you know it, it's there.
Wow. An iPad. It's up late in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
So what is success to you?
Gosh, I think at one point in my career, I would have probably said it was a few projects that I did, like that was success. But now today, I look at success as the human being that I'm becoming and the happiness that I'm creating for myself.
Wow.
And I can say that when you give back, when you help others, when you give service to others, oh, watch, my tears will start to flow. When you give service to others, everything comes back to you. And the gifts are so big that money can't even compare. So that's what I will say. That's what success is.
Amazing. Powerful. The human being you're becoming and giving back. And so those are really powerful things for humanity. And we can see all of that coming through all the work that you do. Amazing. I can see where you're heading. Okay. So as an angel investor, how important is strategy to success in business?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, it really is everything. You have to have a strategy. The thing is that the strategy can change and you pivot. That's okay. You start out with an idea, you test it, you try it out, but make sure you're solving a real problem. And this is the problem I have today with some technology, is that some people are just focused on the money they're going to make, the data they're going to collect, right? And I find that a bit of the evil side. I think people need to, especially in the tech industry, need to get more focused on, we got some big humanitarian planet issues, huge. That's where we need to focus our energy in solving those problems. They're long-term issues, they're systemic. We can solve them. We have the tools to solve them. And people need to invest in that. And the short-term investment may not be as lucrative as they want to see, but in the long haul, it will be phenomenal. But people have to not be so short-term focused on money, right? They really need to be holistic about solving the bigger issue, partnering up. Don't be on an island, think you can do this thing by yourself. Bring in strategic partners as you build a company or you're trying to solve a situation, because there's too many people out there trying to reinvent the wheel. We don't have time for that. We need to collaborate. And this is where women are excellent at collaborating. So I would say that that's really important, and to have that strategy. And it can change from one week to the next week. That's okay.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. So we can change our strategy. We can pivot. Yes. Yeah. But partnering and collaborations are key.
Yeah, it really is. But this is an asset for women. And I wish the male community would see this a bit more instead of being threatened, right? Because women don't want to take over the world. We have no intention of that. We really don't care. We just want to be part of the decision-making because they're affecting our lives and our health and everything else that goes with it. And I've actually had young women tell me that they don't even want to raise children right now. They don't even want to have babies. And for me, that's a sad thing to hear, right?
I know.
So it's
it is really sad. Yeah. Lots of them don't want to go into that area.
Yeah, exactly.
The holistic approach that you're talking about. Could I just ask, as you go into venturing this mission, what is the feedback? How are people receiving this?
Well, I remember one particular situation very early in the stage. Marinella and I were in Colombia, and we met with this famous celebrity in Latin America. I didn't know her because I just don't keep up with all the celebrities around the world, but she was actually in her 90s, beautiful woman. Oh my gosh, I was like, oh, well, she was breathtaking. And I was telling her about hair and what we were up to. And we had lunch with her. And right before we left, she grabbed both my arms and she started to cry. And I knew right away the hardship that she had to go through as a woman, and I think of the challenges that I've had, right? And I'm in a first world country. So, imagine what women are going through in second and third world countries. I mean, it's horrendous. And so we have to take care of our sisters. But that was the really, everybody that I've talked to immediately, like, bravo, bravo. I even have, my, men doing the same thing, like clapping, like, this is brilliant. We need more women in leaders. They recognize that we have great skills.
We do. We need to bring out more women. We need to just elevate the thought process that we have the potential and we have the ability to be whatever we wish to be anyway. Yes.
Exactly. I mean, people are born onto this planet to live a life and to be happy. And that includes good health and good mental, it includes everything. So, it's a dire necessity.
Amazing. Thank you. And what key strategies do you use to help you stay on track every year?
Oh gosh, I might be missing on that one. I always have goals for myself, and I don't necessarily like set them every January or something like that, but I make lists. I have a tight calendar. I always think about, am I taking care of the big rocks, and not just wasting my time on a bunch of sand. And sometimes it's hard to do because we have so much coming at us. I mean, I'm inundated between email and LinkedIn and, WhatsApp and Telegram. I mean, it just comes at me like crazy. And sometimes, I miss important stuff, and it's frustrating, but I know that if I stay focused on the key elements, what's important to me, right, then things will work out. But we're in a time now because of the mobile device, right, which I instigated back in the Motorola days. But the thing is that we almost sleep with our phones, right? We're always being pinged and contacted, and there's so much information coming at us. And it's now gotten to the point of, how do you funnel that? How do you know what's most important? And I think if you go back to your core of what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what are the things that you want to know and want to learn about? Mm-hmm. Just stay focused on that until you learn it, or till you want to move on, or you've got other priorities. But, if you've got, kids, aging adults, I mean, these are all things that women deal with on a regular basis. And sometimes your family takes priority, and then sometimes the job, I've taken a job where I've stepped back and slowed down because I had health issues. And so sometimes you just got to do that. And there's no race. And this is what people struggle with, where there's so much of keep up with the Joneses kind of thing that a lot of people, at least in America, there's a lot of that. And there is no race. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I've lost both my parents, and neither one of them mentioned anything about a job. Neither of them mentioned anything about a house. They talked about a memory that we had, something that we did, and they wanted their loved ones next to them. So at the end of the day, it's about relationships. It's about the impact that you make on people's lives. And that really is all that matters.
Yes, powerful, the impact. You're going back to how you define success, happiness, impact, being. Amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. And I hope that people will learn, all the women that read and subscribe to the Stellar Woman magazine will be able to tap into that and be able to change their own perspectives, because that's what's important, really. So thank you for that. And yeah, so with your experience in the corporate world and serving on boards now, what in your opinion is limiting women from climbing up the corporate ladder to CEO level?
Oh gosh, you know what, this is such a fascinating question. First of all, and I hate to say this, but it's the truth. There are some queen bees out there who made it to the top and sometimes do not pull people along with them. And it's very sad. I've worked with a few, I've met a few, and it's very disheartening, because you think that, oh my gosh, I got a female leader. Whew. But trust me, it can be really ugly, and it's unfortunate. And so Madeleine Albright used to say, I loved her, there's a special place in hell for women who pull up the ladder behind them. So that's one issue. The other is there's still a lot of men, right, who feel that women should be, subordinate, or, not worthy to be in the board, whatever. There's still men around that feel that way. That is an issue. I firmly believe, and I've seen this. I remember experiencing a meeting at Sears. There wasn't a single woman in the room, and I thought, you guys are not going to survive. They didn't even know why people were shopping there. And sure enough, they went bankrupt. So, and Peter Drucker said this like back in the 80s, if you don't have women in your organization because they're doing all the spending, then you're going to miss out. And it's so true. Women they know how to take care of customers. They know what's important. They know how people want to be treated. And so boards need to have women. They don't have them, they're going to lose out, and that'll be their fault.
Indeed. Thank you for that. Thank you. What can women do to ensure that they get the right investors? I skip that.
Oh, how they get the right investors. That's a really tough challenge. Because, I'm going through that. I know a number of women who are going through that. It is a tough issue. There's a lot of aggregators out there. They all want to make money on women to help them get ready to find money. And they act like they have money, but they don't have money. And so I find that very dishonest to some extent. I think we need to do a better job in categorizing angels, VCs, things of that nature, so people can get connected better. It's almost like a dart throwing contest, because sometimes some people might have money and could care less about where it goes, but then you've got people who want to invest in like just impact stuff, or you've got people that are just looking for, like high tech, and they're sometimes difficult to find the right angel, the investor or VC or whatever. And it is, as you know, well, you may not know, but only 1% of all funding goes to women, which is pathetic. Beyond pathetic. Yeah. It's like pathetic times 10. So that definitely has to change. And to any of the wealthy women out there who are investing, they need to be very focused in supporting female organizations.
Yeah. Wow, that must be that's a mission that needs to be embarked on. I hope there are several people embarking on that.
Yeah, there was an event that happened in US. I can't remember what company it was, but this board member was talking about, oh yeah, I love women. I hire women all the time. They're cheap and they work hard. I almost fell out of my seat. I think he was thrown off the board the next day, but that's just, women are hard workers and they're very successful. They get it done, but they need to be paid the same. And that's still a huge issue.
Yeah. I really get, I always don't know why that happens. The fact that when we go to school, we spend the same amount of money, we spend the same amount of time, we get the same marks, we're not graded differently, and then we come out to the working world and then things change. You have to get less. And I ask why.
because there's so many men. They feel comfortable. They feel comfortable with each other. And I was on the front line as a VP of sales, being the only woman. You know, the GM likes to cuss. You know, if you didn't make your numbers, if you misplan, they want to cuss and scream, and they don't feel comfortable doing that with a woman. I think that was a little bit of it that I saw, right? Or they would go to, you know, like, you know, bars and things like that, and didn't feel comfortable with a woman where they could let their hair down. So some of
Yeah.
the good old boy network that they don't want to let go of.
That is it. Okay, great. Thank you. So you're a co-chair for cystic, is it? Fibrosis Foundation?
Yeah, I did that when I was in Chicago. I'm no longer doing it now, but when I lived in Chicago working for Motorola, you know what a great organization, I got to tell you. I was there for a couple of years. We raised $500,000 in one event, and I learned a really valuable lesson, an easy way to make fundraising events. And you know, that was I had like 50 members on my committee, and you know, for me, I said, all you got to do is one thing, just one thing. And everybody wants to be part of something, but they, you know, everybody doesn't have, you know, bandwidth to volunteer all the time. They want to, but they're afraid to because they've got so many commitments with work and family. But that was a really valuable experience for me. And what a great organization. These kids, I mean, it's sad to see that we don't have a solution for little children to be able to breathe. And you know, we've got other things which are not important, which I don't want to go into, but you know, surely we should be able to get solutions for these kinds of things. But anyway, it was fun.
It was fun, and you learned a lot from it. Thank you for that. So what challenges do you face in serving your purpose? I want to know. And what solutions have worked well for you?
Oh gosh, what challenges? Well, I would say COVID slowed us down. As we were looking for land for Hair City, we had some challenges because of COVID. But I have to say, Zoom saved my life. I was in a lot of networking groups, and I highly recommend people to be in as many networking groups as you can. You never know who you meet that, you know, might be valuable to the mission that you're on, or how you can help them, or find something that really tugs at your heart. And so I did a lot of Zoom meetings. I must have, during COVID, I think I met like 4 to 6 people every day.
Wow.
And it was extremely valuable. And I've made a lot of friends. And so it's, you know, I would say that was probably my biggest challenge of work. Now I'd probably say a little fundraising right now, right? So getting investors.
Getting investors.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the film.
The film, yes. The big project. Great. I look forward to that. Looking forward to that. Yeah, I look forward to that. It's going to be amazing. Is it going to be, I've read somewhere, I don't know where I found out, the Herrera city, where is it? Is it in somewhere in Africa?
Yeah, we're working with Morocco.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. So the shooting will be there as well?
Don't know yet.
Okay.
I got people saying Morocco, and then people saying LA. So some people saying Portugal. So I don't know yet.
You don't know yet. Okay, we look forward to that. Yeah. So have you failed at anything before?
Gosh, I failed a lot of times. I remember one time I was a kid. I was in swim team. I was training for the Olympics. And I was swimming with this woman from Brazil who'd been before. And I had to swim the mile. I was like, oh my God, that's like a 15-minute, 20-minute swim. I missed the cutoffs by a tenth of a second. So that was my first big failure as a child. And that was really hard for me.
Yeah.
But then I would say my next one was when I was working at one of the large companies. I'll hold their name back. But there was a gentleman that, you know, was threatened by me, and he would bully me. And I didn't think much of it because he wasn't in the same group, and he was kind of in another organization, and he was, not the same level. He was a lower level, so I didn't think him so much as a threat. But he ended up sabotaging my career big time. And now when I look back on it, I should have made a bigger effort to, kind of, work on the relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was just so busy with the task at hand. I mean, I was building a team and I was commuting from Chicago to New York. So I didn't really I didn't have as much time to build relationships sometimes. And that one really burned me. And it was a really tough lesson for me, actually. But I've always thought of doing the right thing for the people that work for me and the right thing for the company and driving the revenue, right? I mean, I grew that business to $1 billion. But at the end of the day, corporate America can be very nasty. And I've seen the worst. I've seen the worst of it. And it's, you try to manage all the landmines, but sometimes you miss one.
You do. Yeah, you do. So how were you able to get over it?
Yeah, I finally left the company.
You left the company.
Yeah. And, the thing is that, sometimes there's bad bosses. Sometimes there's bad leadership. Sometimes there's just an environment that's toxic.
Yes.
And you have to take yourself out of it. It's okay to take a different job. It's okay to go do something else. Some people can be in a position for 20 years at the same place. Gosh, I almost did that. I was in Motorola 18, but and people are afraid of change, but
Yes.
actually change is really healthy. Change is so good for you because it expands you. You're learning, it just adds so much value to who you are as a human being, whether you move or you change jobs or you meet new people, or, adding change to your life is really healthy. And I don't regret being there. I learned a lot. I met a lot of fascinating people. So no regrets whatsoever. But I would have loved to stay longer, actually, but I got to a point where I was like, if I'm not happy, I need to move on.
Yeah. The environment, it kills your creativity if it's not the right environment.
You know what? Stress is a silent killer. It really is. And it can show up in so many different ways.
Yes.
That's why it's really important for people to be, healthy and to, wake up every day, do something that takes care of yourself, whether you go for a walk or meditate or, talk to the angels, whatever it is that you want to do. It's just really important because you're here to live and be happy. That's it.
To be and be happy and make impact. Okay. We have those three. Thank you very much, Mary, for that. So your hands are full. There's just so much that you're doing. And so I'm sure our subscribers will be wondering, how does she do it all? And how does she balance work life? How does she get the balance right?
Yeah, you know what? Nobody gets it right. Nobody gets it right. And if they say they do, they're lying. I don't even have children, so I don't even have the handful of what 80% of the women who are working have children. I mean, that's a whole, it's huge. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I know what they've been through. I have seen so many single mom raising 3 and 4 kids, having to work, take care of kids. It's maddening. And then they're paid 75 cents on the dollar. I mean, it should be, people should go to jail over this, that
That's true.
It's horrendous. And that's why I feel so strongly about what I'm doing, because it's, people don't need to live like that. And and government's not my play. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah. Your work is amazing, Mary. Thank you. So if you were to go back in time and meet your 15-year-old self,
oh, Jesus,
what key message would you give her?
You know what? My favorite movie was Wizard of the Oz. I mean, I still watch it today. If it's showing, I'm shutting everything down and watching it. I love that show.
Yeah.
And Glenda the Good Witch made a statement. And she said, darling, you had the power all along. And I wish I would have really understood that, because we do. We have everything that we need, everything. And sometimes we're looking for it everywhere else but within ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson I wish I had learned really early and strong, because your gut, your body will tell you everything, and you do have the power to do everything that you need to do.
Amazing. Very powerful. Thank you, Mary. And where do you say, in all the things that you have done, what are you most proud of?
Yes. What am I most proud of? Well, I'm really excited about what I'm doing right now with Herrera and Herrera Media Group and Femme Foundry. I'm very excited about it. And I'm sure as I work along the way, other things will, kind of come and join us, so to speak, because it's really the collaboration that's really important. But what I have to say that I'm most proud of is, how blessed I was to have the parents that I had to make me the human being that I'm becoming, because they gave me really great stability and love. So that's what I'm most grateful for, but the human being that I'm becoming.
The human being you're becoming. Very powerful, Mary. Yeah. You're serving from the heart, which is really amazing. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Definitely. So where do you see Mary in the next 5 to 10 years? I don't know if that includes the Herrera Media Group, everything. Where do we see you in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, first we'll win a Grammy for the Herrera City, the Warriors of the Light TV
Amazing.
series.
Amazing.
That will be one. Herrera
Yeah.
City will be, started. Museum will be. We'll have a, the start of the city being built. So yeah, I mean that's where I see. And other things will happen too. Great, but I want to see the flourishing of all the women around the world, and so that's really important.
Amazing, amazing. Just like the Stellar Woman magazine, we are all about seeing women thriving. That's amazing work. I can see the synergy there.
Oh yeah, there's synergies. We'll talk later.
It's a great synergy. Wow. We just want to see women flourish. That's amazing. Thank you. And what are your attributes of an ideal stellar woman?
What are my attributes of an ideal woman?
Yeah, ideal stellar woman. So this stellar woman, what are her characteristics?
I think a stellar woman, first of all, is kind. She's kind, she's smart, she's healthy, she's giving, she's considerate, she's smart, and she stands up for herself. She says no when she needs to. I mean, we can't say yes to everything. And she's focused on the things that are most important, and she gives service to her community and to her, friends and family around her.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that. And do you have any life mantra?
Well, yeah, I would have to go back to Glenda the Good Witch, it used to be when I was at Motorola, never, ever, ever give up, right? Because we were always driving for projects and, year end and all that kind of stuff. But now I would say it's Glenda the Good Witch. You had the power all along, darling.
All along, all along. It's powerful, Mary. Do you flag it around?
I say it a lot. Yeah.
No, do you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think you could change everybody. If everybody had that life mantra, that's enough. That's enough to keep you going. Enough.
The thing is that people are always looking for something somewhere else, like to save them or to rescue them, or my life will be better when I do this, or when I have this, or blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, we have everything we need. Our mind is the most amazing computer on the planet, our mind, and what it does for our body, and what it does to create dreams, what it does to create vision, what it does to, get us excited, get us motivated. We can either choose to be negative or we can choose to be positive, and in every situation we choose, we control how we feel, we control how we act.
Yeah.
And nothing should interfere with that. You should never give over your sense of wellness or happiness to anybody, because it's yours. And no matter what they say or what they do, they shouldn't have any impact on you, because you have everything that you need. That little brain on your head, that computer is amazing, powerful. They're still trying to figure out how to get AI to do everything that we're doing. The emotional intelligence is huge. And that's what women have. And that's exactly what the world needs right now, because we're destroying it. So you got it.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much for that. And now our last question is, please leave a challenge for our stellar women readers to help them to focus on their strategies for success in 2022 and beyond.
Oh gosh, now repeat that question again. I'm sorry.
Just leave a challenge for all our readers and subscribers to help them to focus on their strategies for success in 2022 and beyond. What challenge? Just leave any challenge.
Oh, any challenge.
Any challenge. You construct a challenge for them today to ensure that they succeed.
Okay, brilliant. I love that. Okay, so here's the challenge I'm going to give them. Be happy and be kind. Be happy and be kind, because when you're kind, they're kind of both in the same. If you're kind and you're always kind to others and you're helpful, you will be happy. And once you have kindness and happiness down, then you feel good about anything that you want to take on. Everything is easy. Everything is easy. And quite frankly, we're here to live and be happy. So be kind, just that simple,
Amazing. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for sharing your lovely story and your mission, your purpose with us. It has been amazing. I've just benefited a lot, and I'm sure all our subscribers, all the readers, all the viewers are going to learn a lot from you. So be kind. And just be happy. The moment you're kind, you're going to be happy. And that's success. That's what we're here to do. Amazing, Mary. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it.